Let's do this. Subscribe to the channel. Yeah, settle down. Let me do this. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I go by the name of God, got game, and welcome back to the channel. The second channel. Y'all get the thumbnail, y'all see the title, and today we got something new, man. And this is let me see. I can't pronounce the name. I can't pronounce that name, bro. Is it? I can't even pronounce. I ain't gonna try. And this is Saitama isn't as strong as you think he is right now. Okay. With what that anime? I can't see because the camera is it anime in some guy named anime. I can't see the camera. And is that quirkless? I can't see my camera, bro. So yeah, man. I want to see what they're gonna be about, man. Anyway, how y'all day been? Y'all been doing good? I've been doing so you already know. Follow me up there if you want. I'm a hit. But yeah, you already know. You know my slogan. I'm the greatest. I'm the worst. I am. Let's get to the video. What's the video? Let's see.
We're going to be talking about the current strength of Saitama in the manga because, to be honest, it's ambiguous.
Oh, we're in the manga.
We don't have a lot of questions answered, not a lot of questions asked about this stuff. So we're going to have a deep dive into this. And in order to do this, I brought my boys, Anime Anxiety, and newcomer to the channel, Quirkless Shinobi. What's up, guys?
Yo, doing well, guy.
All right, so the last time, or one of the...
In a reactor. What's up, you guys? Let go.
The only times in the manga where we got an update or just an explanation of what's going on with Saitama's power was chapter 168. I don't know what that is in the viz. I'll look it up later and have the editor put it here, but it's pretty much the last round of Saitama taking on Cosmic Fear Garo. And Cosmic Fear Garo realizes that every time
I would call him God Garo, bro. I don't know for some reason.
Saitama is punching him, he's getting stronger. Like he's like, I don't get it. You know,
yeah, he's strong. He gets stronger every time. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me be quiet and let this here.
Counter him with just as much power, but the next attack hits even harder. I can't keep up. I'm just getting left in the dust. And you see the graph like for Saitama just keeps moving.
Keep growing, bro.
You know, if you kind of, I don't know, backtrack and make your own mind up for what the data originally was, they were neck and neck at some point. You could, you know, dare even say.
But Saitama still was up. Like I feel like Saitama still was up and he was still holding back. And plus he was fighting with one arm, bro. One arm. You know what I'm saying? Like I still believe like he was still holding back. He wasn't even like 100%. I still feel like he probably like, I'll say, I don't even want to say 50%. He probably like, I'll say probably like 45 or something like that. 45 the most. I'm gonna give it 45 to 35 cause he didn't want to like, you know, like end Garu, bro. He just trying to knock some sense to him. That's how I was seeing it.
Say they were equal in power. Maybe when they were like colliding those serious punches before Blast sent them off, maybe they were equal in power at that, and that's a super controversial statement, but you know, we've never seen anybody clash with a serious punch, let alone just survive it. So, you know, it could be said, but eventually Saitama, as Garo says, just leaves him in the dust. Like he becomes so powerful that he just goes far off the grid. And this is of course because Saitama has removed his limiter, meaning that there is no limit to his power, but even just that statement in itself needs more of a breakdown. So let's first go into how Saitama's power works. So Quirkless Shinobi, you had some thoughts on this.
Well, when we first see Cosmic Garo and Saitama on the graph, they're pretty neck and neck, and that can imply like, you know, he's never really seen anybody up until this point that's remotely on his level enough to push his growth to any truly exponential limit. But the moment they start clashing, we see it, even the narration says his growth just starts to exponentially soar. So based on how strong his opponent is, it should be that he just gets this incredible boost if he fights anywhere remotely close to him.
Yeah, and kind of touching on what Quirkless just said, it depends on like the translation that you read too, but it says something along the lines as these graphs are getting shown, his rate of growth, which had gone unnoticed by anyone since there was nobody remotely on par with his strength, suddenly began to soar exponentially. So it's kind of vague in the way that like you aren't really sure if his power kind of hit a certain peak.
And plus Saitama is just a big tank, like a big giant tank. I don't even want to put the other guy name, man. Y'all know what I'm saying. But Saitama's a big tank, bro. He's a big tank.
He didn't need to get any stronger, and now that Garo was kind of pushing him, his growth started to grow exponentially again, like it, you know, you assume it initially did when he first removed his limiter.
But first, let's talk about the sponsor of this video, Deskboard Buddy. The Deskboard Buddy is the perfect companion for your desk. It features a glass dry erase whiteboard and hidden storage area for your office supplies. Guys, real quick, let me just show you what my desk used to look like. I'm not just making it look this way to hype up the Deskboard Buddy, but I have all the paper slipped over because I don't want you to see my psychotic ramblings. And I didn't realize what I was doing until I saw the Deskboard Buddy. So now I could just easily take notes on this thing and keep calculations. This thing even fits my tablet and my phone at the same time. It also helps that it's really aesthetic. I have the black model with the calculator, but it also comes in white and also a version without the calculator if you'd like. And to go along with it, I got the Deskboard Buddy Premium Glassboard markers. Comes with an eraser as well, which is super useful. So guys, if you're looking to upgrade your desk experience and increase your productivity, check out the link in the description and make sure you use code BIGZ20 off. That way you'll get 20% off any order on the site. Thanks, guys.
Or maybe like it's also possible.
Okay, there you go.
Well, that it's just been slowly getting higher, and no one's been able to observe it because no one's been anywhere near that level of power, you know? So
exactly, like his power going to continue on growing, bro. Like there's no stopping him. He is Zaddy.
I kind of like how it's a little bit open-ended like that, you know, because it leaves room for debate in that area. But me personally, I kind of subscribe to the idea that he's been just kind of steadily growing. It takes someone that's like near his level to kind of, you know, make that exponential growth even an even higher spike or something.
So I guess we could say that before this, his toughest opponent was very likely to be Boros, right?
Yeah.
So Boros was, you know, obviously not.
I'll say probably just a little warm-up, or I'll say yes, yeah. But me, I still feel like, you know, like a warm-up type stuff.
Anywhere near Cosmic Fear Garo, but I do like this graph because we could use Boros as a metric with it, and it could also show us how guys like Orochi are kind of weak because of that. Because he says, like, you know, I defeated you with just a normal punch, or I'm paraphrasing, but he says that when he kills Orochi. And in the original one, in the retcon, it's the serious squirt, but in the original version of Saitama versus Orochi, he defeats him with just a single punch. And it was like, well, Boros was taking multiple of those, so going off of this graph, we could say,
I say, yeah, he probably, or what his name is, whatever his name is. I say he probably right somewhere right here. Somewhere right here.
That obviously he did not move the meter or move the needle at all.
I'm gonna say at all.
With Cosmic Fear Garo here, it's a whole other ballpark. So that leads into, it's like Saitama, at least this is my take. He is not infinite in his power. Like, he's not like some Marvel cosmic being. He's not like the Beyonder or something where he's just omnipotent. He needs to be pushed to that level. I mean, I feel like
he can stick up with Superman. I'm just saying, I feel like he can like fight Superman, bro, like, cause he gonna steady keep growing, and that's just how I see it when it comes to that. Cause like I said, I'm not trying to like say, you know what I'm saying, when they keep like trying to compare, you know, but can he beat Goku though? I know, I like I said, bro, like Saitama is steady gonna keep growing. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm trying to see how, and if you don't, all I gotta say is just check the check the like the chat GPT thing, bro. And that's like the most unbiased you're gonna get right there with that. So I'm just saying, and then type in Google and like type in Google and what it is, type in Google and see like who all can beat Goku in like 2023. They're gonna say, they're gonna have Saitama up there, bro. Like, but once again, you know, people don't want to believe that.
Theory, you know, if he was steadily pushed, and this is a controversial statement, he can become as strong as the Beyonder. Not ability wise with like manipulating reality and whatnot, but just throwing a punch or I don't know, doing whatever he wants, because we saw he just grabbed portals, kicked portals and stuff.
Crazy.
I mean,
I was gonna say, don't count him out, you know.
Yeah.
On the
no.
stuff.
Yeah, it's like it surprises us all the time
That's my look right there. When I saw it, I'm like, yo, oh, he's him.
with what Saitama can do when he's pushed far enough. Did you guys happen to read one of the latest bonus chapters? It came out last year. I forget for which volume, but it was as Saitama was losing his hair. It was like around the time he was removing his limiter, and he's trying to see like the bald spot behind him in the bathroom. Did you guys
Yes.
happen to see this?
Yeah, I love that one.
That one.
So it's like if he pushes himself far enough, he can move so fast that he can see like the past. Like he can see him still
Yeah,
standing in the mirror. So yeah, don't count Saitama out with his power. And this just goes back to saying like he's not omnipotent. So in theory, he could be killed if he was like punched by or just hit by something that was way farther up on the graph than him. Like if we take this graph and we just replace Saitama.
They told me I placed it with probably like Superman. Superman probably gonna be right there, but when they start fighting, I feel like Saitama gonna be way up there with him. That's how I see things.
His face with Cosmic Fear Garo's face. If somebody was just snuck up on Saitama and was like that much further ahead of him, in theory, do you think they could kill him because he wasn't pushed far enough yet?
That's an excellent idea. Actually, I've thought about this before. Where I'm like, okay, is God actually stronger on paper right now than Saitama?
That's a
Just
good
because
question.
we see Cosmic Garo is so close, and Cosmic Garo is like a hand slap of God.
You know what?
Right.
I'm gonna throw out a hot
And
ass.
he ate that. He ate that too, though. But then God gave him like a little hit powers, though.
Here, I think God like is just base for base. I think he's probably stronger than Saitama is. He's got to be, right? Because we just talked about it. He's a slap of Cosmic Fear Garo is
Yeah.
just a slap of him.
Something in 167 I saw was that when you see the other hero Avengers of Blast, they see Saitama, and while they're impressed by his strength, they aren't like, oh my god, this is impossible. How could someone ever get this strong? They're like, wow, to think someone else besides you could deal with this much divine power, in reference to Blast, which I think is an interesting line.
Yeah. That's a really good point. And I mean, just looking at like, you know, looking at feats can get kind of iffy, you know, especially like in a battle manga series. But you know, just looking at the fact that like Garo had to kind of, you know, teach Saitama how to time travel, show him the technique or whatever. God currently can
And he learned that instantly, like with a blink of an eye, bro. OP. They told me OP.
Then time apparently on his own, you know, like I mean it's not verified, but you know, it's, you would assume if Garo has power from God, then God can also do this, you know. So just looking at simple stuff like that, I feel like God is like on this like ultimate tier that Saitama could reach. He just hasn't been pushed that far yet.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, like, once God is fully resurrected and, like, he has just full reign of his abilities, I really wonder what it's going to be like at that point, because we're just getting a taste of it with the Cosmic Fear stuff. And
See, my thing is he gonna be like tall while he fighting him, or he gonna like shrink down to like say Tommy's side, height and side and all that, so they can have a fair fight? Cause him fighting him tall, that probably a little weird, but if he can like shape shift and like turn like a little smaller, like his height, something like that, yeah, that'd be good.
we saw, you know, he pushed Saitama far enough to like sneeze away Jupiter. So I'm wondering, like, is this gonna wind up like Gurren Lagann? Like, have you guys seen that series?
Oh yeah.
I haven't yet, no.
Spoilers.
The
I won't
series?
I won't go too deep into the spoilers, but I'll just say
spoil it.
at the end of the series, they're just like destroying the multiverse essentially.
Yeah, reasonable.
So I
Okay.
wonder if that's what the peak is here. But I also think, like, you know, what we were talking, just at his base, God has to be stronger than Saitama, because like it just doesn't make sense that he wouldn't be now that we have this graph. And that takes me into the second part of this video. It's like, how strong is Saitama currently? Like right now, what is it, chapter 184, not going off of the viz. I think that he has regressed back to how strong he was when he was like fighting Garo, right? Because, and this isn't confirmed for everyone listening, open-ended, he fused or merged with his previous or his future self. I don't even know what you would call it, but his past slash present self fused with his future present self and became, you know, the naked Saitama fused with the Saitama that got knocked into the dirt. And it makes me think that that reset his quote-unquote power level because of just the fusing of it and him losing memories of what had happened. And the stakes kind of need to be reset as well, because Saitama just can't be as strong as he was blowing away Jupiter with a sneeze, because then it's like, you know, the stakes are even less than what they were before.
Right.
Do you guys think that's the case? Like, do you think that his power level is reset somewhat?
It's possible. I hadn't really thought about this one. When I first read that,
I haven't thought about all the way that through now. Now they went deep into it.
I saw him deck Garo in the face when he comes back out of the time portal. My first inclination is like, okay, he's just like, he's at this level now, and he comes back and he just one-taps the guy that was a problem.
Yeah,
but if he did regress, I mean, it really depends with the exponential graph, how fast this actually triggers, because if he gets hit by somebody that's just like universal, is it instant? Because if he just instantly hits the limit he needs to be at, well, then he's pretty hard to kill. But if it's not, well, then it's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, and I mean, this might be like a super like smooth brain way to do it. I kind of just assume like, all right, the future Saitama was super buff, and after he merged with Saitama, he wasn't super buff anymore. So I'm like, all right, well, he got reset. That would make sense, right? But yeah, it's super vague. You know, you don't really know, and I would prefer it that like his whole, you know, strength got reset, because then like that kind of leaves room for him to do the same thing again that he was doing with Garo, like a hard fought battle that he eventually overcomes and you know, ends in a similar way, I guess. But like, if he was already that strong, then like, I mean, come on, you know what I mean? Like, there's not that much room for growth at that point. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it might just be like hoping that he kind of got reset, but also visually, it seems like he did.
I can definitely agree with that.
Well, all right, guys. That's going to be it for this one. Thanks again for Anime Anxiety, always on the channel, always with these collabs. And the newcomer, Quirkless Shinobi, check him out. Anime Anxiety does One Punch Man, Chainsaw Man, probably going to branch off in other things. Quirkless Shinobi doing some One Punch Man, mostly Jujutsu Kaisen, and some My Hero. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, My Hero. That's rough. We'll talk about that another time. All right, guys. Peace out.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, do y'all agree with that, man? I'm just saying, bro. Hey, yo. That's some deep thinking right there. Some real deep. It get the brain going. But you already know. Link up in the description below. Like, come to